Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA Bag Work Edition. And today we're gonna really work on developing power in our lead hook and ripping the body. Lead hook and body work. Okay, so this workout's gonna be 5 rounds. And I like to put my bag work in rounds and make each round specific for you to work on. Too many times there's so many things that we have to work on our technique that by picking one thing per round to work on helps you develop that. So usually in these rounds for this bag work edition, I like to give you one thing a round to work out, and usually the last round, the 5th round, is where you could freestyle and add your own style. The main issue I see, especially when beginners get on the bag, is that they come on the bag and they try to work too much. They're not picking something specific to work on. So this is why this bag work edition becomes good, because I'm gonna help guide you to improve your technique. So round 1 is always a nice warm-up round where you can learn the technique a little bit. So the key to this video is this lead hook. So in order to get a good lead hook, it's all about getting that rotation in the body. So in round 1, it's gonna be about single power hooks. When you rip this hook, you wanna have a good powerful hook so it comes from the legs and it comes from rotating. So the key thing I teach is making sure I load up the lead hip. So one way you can do it is usually if I get my rear hand and I touch my lead knee. What this lets me do is put my head on top of my knee, so now I'm loaded. And if you see from this position, I got a bent hip. Now this bent hip is gonna let me shoot my hip in that direction to be able to get the power in my hook. I add a little bit of a pivot, and next thing you know, I'm digging that hook. The other way people teach that load up is punching with the cross past the bag. So I punch across and then I pull back and I drive my hook into the bag. So this just teaches you to load up the hip. Now, once you get good, you don't have to throw this as a cross, and you can maybe use it as a feint. Feint this hand, loads me up, and then I could rip that hook nice and strong. All right, so just remember, this is a kickboxing and MMA channel, so it's really important to understand the pivot of the lead foot. Usually when I'm boxing, you can see that I pivot a lot, and most boxers do to generate that power, and it helps me get my hip involved, good rotation in my core. But if I'm kickboxing, a lot of times I don't want to do that. 1, because I'm susceptible to the low kick and the calf kick. And 2, it's harder for me to flow with my combinations. If I have to pivot too much and then throw a round kick to the other direction, my front foot is traveling too much, it's too slow, and it just doesn't get maximum power, okay? So just remember, you need a load up. I also don't want to load up here with my chin high. This is where the touching down makes me load up. If I'm here, I don't have a loaded hip. I need my hip behind me. This way I can shoot it across, okay? So round 1, let's just work on single power hooks. All right, the video is also about body work, so you can throw the single to the body as well if you want. So load up, hit, reset, and a tap. As the rounds go on, we'll be putting doubles and triples together, so just make sure in round 1, you focus on good solid power with a single lead hook. All right, let's go. Round 1. Now that you have the single hook locked down, good legs, good power, good rotation, good follow through, now we want to add doubles and triples with the hooks with level changes, and that's the key. So I can't just continually attack one area with my hook. One example was that Ryan Garcia fight. All of a sudden he goes hard hook to the head and then he rips that hard hook to the body. So especially if you want to finish to the liver with that left hook, it's important that you really create a hard hook to the head. This way when they block the hook, they bring their whole guard up, which gives me the liver even more. So the key to this round is head, body, or head, body, and just keep being unpredictable with the level of the hook. So if I might go head, rip into the body, head, body, right? So you want to be unpredictable. I might go body, head, body. Just keep mixing it up because you want to keep your opponent guessing. But the key to the double, triple hook is two things. If you want to hit them with solid power, you have to load up in between. So for example, if I'm here, hit, I come back again, and I reload. So you can see I reload between every hook. Hit, reload, hit, reload, hit. Okay, so the reload gives me more power, but the problem with that is it might be a little too slow. So 1, reload, 2, reload, 3. So a faster way that I can do is change the intensity of my hook. If my main focus is ripping the left hook to the body, my 2 hooks to the head might be light and fast. Light, light, boom, and explode into that other one. Or it might be light, light, boom, power up top. So you want to change the intensity and the power as well as the speed of the hooks. Just like we talk about our jabs, single, double, low, long range. So you want to do the same thing with your hook, is play with that tempo, rhythm, and the power changes, okay? So if I do want to throw more of a speed hook, you'll see. So I use more, which I call stir the pot. I'm not loading up my hips, but I'm getting those fast hooks. Boom, boom, boom. Like that Roy Jones Jr. style. Even if you see Roy Jones throw his hook, he almost keeps his hands out and he just jams it across. I can do a little bit of a stir the pot, boom, 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 and then I load up when I want to rip the body. So you can see how I change my mechanics up depending on what I'm doing. Light, light, load, hit, okay? So round 2, play with the level changes, play with intensity, and play with the rhythm. All right, let's go. Show. 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 Now that you have the double and triple hooks locked in, now it's important to make sure you change the angle of the hook. So depending on where you're attacking, you might want to change the angle, especially when ripping the body. A lot of times people think when you want to hit the liver, you want this big round punch, when really it's the shovel punch that's more effective. I still put it in the hook category because it's almost coming on an angle, and as well, it's set up nicely with that left hook. So boom, I mix in the shovel shot. So that's what I mean changing angles. In round 2, we played with the levels to confuse our opponent. Now it's about the angles. So especially when I'm attacking the body, what happens now, you have to use your elbows to block the body shots. Now, if I'm throwing round hooks a lot, I'm gonna bring my elbows up to have to block those hooks, which what does it do? It leaves more of the center open. So I might throw round hooks versus shovel. Shovel, okay, versus round. So I want to play with round and shovel to play with my opponent's elbows, keep them guessing where I'm attacking. So I might go round, round, shovel, right? Head, body, shovel. So you're adding another dimension to confuse your opponent, which ultimately is going to give you a better chance at hitting that liver. Okay, so round 3, play around with those shovel punches. And you're gonna notice different types of power. So when I'm throwing a shovel punch, it's not as much of a rotating shot, more than it is my hip going forward, because I'm following my hand. When I'm hooking, I'm bringing the weight forward with my hand. But now with the shovel, the power's coming forward, right? So I wanna make sure when I load it, my hip's coming more forward rather than rotational, okay? And you'll notice that right away, once you throw that shovel shot, how much weight and power you can have, because you're bringing the weight of your hand and the elbow behind the punch, right? If I'm here, there might be some leaked power, but the shovel shot, the elbow of the weight of the elbow just gives that much more power. Okay, so let's go. Round 3, playing around with angles and levels as well, okay? Let's go. Show. All right, at this point of the workout, you should all be warmed up and your technique should be on point. Now it's about setting it up with your straight punches. In any fight, I just don't want to walk up and hit the body or just walk up with my round punches. It's important to mask them and set them up. Especially if I want to attack the liver, I need some nice straight punches. By getting these straight punches up, my opponent has to block, which gives me the liver shot, okay? So the key and my favorite to getting the level change in the lead hook is off of a jab because it gives you that reload. So jab, reload, hook, okay? So one load, hook. That's basically the classic lead side attack. And especially for kickboxers, that is the beautiful one to set up the rear kick. One load, two, bang, power style combination, right? So the load, set, and hit. So this is gonna teach you how to load off of a jab, which is really important. Now, you can also load the hook with the right hand, as I talked about. So cross into the hook, right? Or feint into the hook. So this round here, you're gonna play with your combinations, right? I don't want just round punches. You gotta mix straight punches with the round punches. But you can't forget what we did in round 2 and 3, which is mixing the levels as well as mixing the angles, but now you're setting them up with straight punches. It can be a single jab, double jab, you know, jab cross, any straight punch combination you want, but it sets up those attacks. Okay, be creative, move around a little bit. Okay, and let's go. Straight punches to lead hooks and body. Round 5 is all about freestyle and mixing in your kicks. You gotta remember, after good left hooks, because it's a kickboxing MMA channel, it's nice to set up the round kick. So any lead side hook is gonna give me one power to slam off my right hand, right? Doesn't mean the end of the combo with the hook, boom, if I hit the body or the head, I wanna come back with something to get the knockout, right? So if I hit the liver, boom, I chop to the leg. Or I might hit the liver, come back upstairs, and then go back to the leg. So the key is mixing your kicks, also mixing the knees. If I throw a hard hook, knee, come off, boom, I kick, right? So I'm finishing off the hook with something that's gonna knock my opponent out. It's not good enough to just sit there, hurt the body, then stop. You gotta create the habits of when you hurt that body, go back upstairs and get the finish. One of the main rules, that I like to play with is once you hit the body, you gotta go back up to the head. You're investing so much into it, you're getting those hands to drop, you gotta go back upstairs. So some of these basic head, body, head combinations going back to the leg is just gonna help. And especially if you hurt that lead leg with those low kicks, you get your opponent stationary, it's just gonna help you land your hooks a lot better. One of the main weapons and finishes that I would get in my career is I would hurt my opponent's legs so bad that they become stationary, and this is when I get to load my power hooks and get the finish, okay? 5 rounds, try it out. Lead hook and body work, mix in freestyles. Remember, it's all about tempo, rhythm, level changes, changing the angles, and being creative. Once you hurt the body, once you land some good hooks, it's time to get the finish. All right, there you go. We'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Let's go, mix in your hooks and body works. Show.